better people.
And what about sharing it with Peoria? How big a deal is that for you to share this with Peoria?
It's huge. I mean, this is my roots. This is where everything started for me. So to be able to come back and share these experiences, share my accomplishments, with the city of where I came from, and it's an amazing feeling. And to get that support and that love, you just want to give it back to the city, your family, your friends, and close loved ones.
You got 2 of your high school trophies here and 2 of the NBA. I mean, how cool is that to have these trophies that you've been a part of?
Yeah, it really is. It's hard to think about, but to put it into perspective, to win on each level, to win 2 championship trophies on each level, it just doesn't come around, It's hard enough to do them in high school, and then to, go pro and do it there. I mean, it's the hardest thing ever. So it's cool just to come back and really just kind of bask in that.
That's be an awfully good feeling to have 3 more years ahead of you in Golden State as well.
Absolutely. I don't want to, it's not really about the money with me. It's a business, and, I've been on the other side of that business, being cut, being waived for other players, teams making transactions. So now to be valued, to be a free agent that's valued or kind of targeted, or it feels good. And then to, for them to appreciate what you've brought to their team or their organization and to bring some value to them, it's a rewarding feeling, especially after all we accomplished these last 3 years.
8-2 guaranteed.
Yeah.
Did you have other offers from other teams?
There was interest. There was interest. I mean, that's kind of, where I'll leave it. But, they know where my heart was. It was just about, finding an agreement, both sides coming to an agreement. And it wasn't about the money. I think we were more happy just to stay in one place, where we were happy with, and have a home base now. And it's kind of a second home for me in a way.
You come home with a ring, with 2 trophies, and with a baby. Tell me about being a dad.
Oh man, it was a crazy summer, crazy year. So much has happened. Obviously the highlight of all of it is, being a father. It's indescribable, unless you have, every parent out there knows the feeling. It's, you never know you could love somebody that much. And it's to be able to bring her back to my hometown for the first time, see grandpa, see dad, see the family, special.
Well, what about the next 3 years? I mean, can they be as good as the last 3 years? I mean, you've been living this dream life.
Yeah.
Can it continue?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I still feel there's another level that we as a team can get to. We talk about it all the time. I mean, it's such a hard, it's so hard to do what we were able to accomplish, going 15-1 in the playoffs. But it's scary to think that we can play better, and we feel like we can get better with the moves that the team has made this summer. And also just with the development of our core guys, we feel like there's another level.
I know you tweeted out that you're here.
Yeah.
You certainly want Peoria to share in this moment.
Right. Definitely want Peoria to be here and just, really relish these type of, accomplishments and memories, because it's not going to last forever. And, just as I'm getting older and, really getting a sense of appreciation for, these accomplishments, I want to share them with loved ones. I want to come back and share them with the city of Peoria.
You talk about appreciation, all those years over the 1-year contracts and going all over the place. Now you got a multi-year deal on a championship team with maybe more to come. Does it make it easier to appreciate that now since you play in the league?
Most definitely. I have a better perspective, being where I'm at now, going through the journey that I went through, playing on 9-10 different teams, 1-year contracts. It really makes you appreciate the situation that you're in. And anytime you get an opportunity to play, especially on that level, there's thousands of guys that are trying to make it there, right? And so to get an opportunity to go out there and, play a game, a kid's game, for money, it really, it puts that into perspective for me.
Compare, if you would, the differences and the similarities from the 2 championship seasons, both from the team standpoint and from your standpoint.
Yeah, I would probably say from my standpoint, the first one was shock and excitement. It was just, couldn't believe it. Right? I don't think anybody expected us to win. We expected we always expect to win, but we didn't know our ceiling. And we kind of looked up for air, and it was like, wow, we're the champs, you know. This year, it's different. They expect you to win, expectations, right? It's a lot of pressure, you know. So I think this year it was joy from winning, you know. It's just watching everybody, seeing what Steve Kerr went through with the, you know, his back issues and all the first-year guys that won it, you know, Kevin, David West, Matt Barnes, and then relief because of the expectations and, you know, the pressure and to perform, and you're just such an mental grind in the playoffs. You know, it's a whole nother season.
You're kind of in the movie producing business. Shaun Livingston's story is a pretty good movie, isn't it? Don't you think it's
one day, hopefully we'll get something out there. Maybe a book first.
Who's going to play you?
I don't know. We'll do a casting call.
Shaun, when you come home, you got a camp, and you're gonna, you know, do the ride along and all that stuff. What's it like these next couple of weeks back in your home turf?
Oh yeah, it's hectic. You know, just it's a lot that we have to squeeze in, being able to play, playing up until June, only having a month to come back. But you know, it's important to me. It's going to continue to be important every year to be able to come back to your hometown and really just interact with the kids. As many events and as many programs that we can do and partner with, you know, the city, we want to do, and we want to just show kids, you know, just to inspire them, be able to provide hope, you know, and show that there are outlets, you know, that to inspire them and motivate them to be able to do more.
You talk about all the joy you bring to the town. The joy in your dad and your grandpa, do you still see the same joy you saw as a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 18-year-old? What's that like?
Absolutely. Just our conversations, you know, myself being older and wiser, you know, talking with them and, you know, them telling me how proud they are, you know, of me. And, you know, it's emotional in a way, you know, because it's just, again, the journey. That's why, you know, you see teams pouring champagne on each other, because every single person on the team has a separate journey, you know, that they had to go through. And, you know, with that journey comes adversity, and, you know, it comes plateaus. And so, you know, we really relish in that. We take a moment to step back and say, wow, you know, we came a long way, you know. And I think the older generation in the family would be proud.
You guys may not be done pouring champagne the way this team is built, right? I mean,
hey, one at a time, one at a time. You know, it's so hard to do, and again, that's why, you know, that's why we're celebrating. That's why we make sure we enjoy it. But we're set up right. I think we got guys that are in their prime. We have, you know, a good team. We got key pieces coming in this year that can really contribute right away. You know, and then our young guys and young talent as well, I think, will develop, and, you know, they're really in a good spot for the future.
Concordia Lutheran yesterday, here today. Is the childhood joy still there for you for basketball? Is the Peoria joy still there?
For sure. I mean, again, this is where it all started for me. You know, it started down at Carver Center, migrated to Concordia Lutheran. You know, made a stop at Richwoods, and then came to Central. You know, so I've been all throughout Peoria, made a lot of friends. You know, this is really my foundation. And again, just to be able to come back and enjoy this with friends, enjoy these accomplishments, it's special.
Shaun, high school athletes today are going through, it's become more and more difficult for them to be able to make it up to that next level of college, with more ways for them to get attention. What advice would you give to prospective high school students who are athletes, particularly in basketball, who are trying to find that way to get discovered and find a way to get to college in order to make it to the NBA?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, AAU has obviously been, you know, a vehicle for a lot of kids. You know, that's where a lot of coaches scout. But again, I think the main thing I would say, my first advice would be, you know, the fundamentals, skill development first and foremost, you know, because once you get to college, obviously, you know, it's you hit the ground running, you know, and they like for you to be prepared. And I think that's why a lot of our guys, you see, they had success when they went to go play at the next level, because they were prepared, you know. Guys like Daniel Ruffin, Marcellus, AJ Guyton, you know, those guys, you know, they worked on the fundamentals. They had guys to teach them, you know, they practiced on their skill development. And so that's what I would suggest first. And then really, you know, AAU and high school, you know, just trying to make a name for yourself and be aggressive.
Did it take a little while for the team chemistry to adjust, bringing a superstar like KD on board?
Yes, it did. It took a few months, but honestly, I mean, he was probably the best fit, out of anybody out there. Just because of his game is so selfless in itself, and not a lot of people know that just because he's such a gifted scorer, and that's what he does best. But I played with him. I had a chance to play with him in Oklahoma City, for a cup of coffee or something. You can see his potential. You can see his ceiling. Like he's a franchise player. Guys want to play with him because he plays the game the right way, and that's kind of the reputation we've got with the Warriors organization, playing the game the right way, and he fits that mold.
The knee injury, being waived 4 times, these trophies still make it better than you ever dreamed?
Yeah, I mean, professionally, it's all about winning. For me, it's always been about winning. And